Culture evolves at the speed of light, just like your financial needs. When it comes to your money, Credit Karma keeps you in the know and ahead of the game. You can count on Credit Karma to keep up with your financial needs as they evolve. We'll help you monitor your progress and give personalized recommendations so you can make strides towards your goals and find your way to money. Make sure you're on the right track, no matter where you are on your financial journey. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
Everybody, good morning. We are back. It's Jax and Brittany with When Reality Hits.
Yes, woohoo!
Let's get into it.
Thanks for listening. Second episode. Here we go. We hope you guys enjoyed the first one.
What did you think of the first one?
It was great. I thought it was so fun.
I thought it was good too.
5 stars. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, we really appreciate everybody listening. It's going to get a lot better as we go along. We're excited.
I think we should recap some of the fun things we did this week. We got to go to the iHeartRadio Awards, which was so much fun. We got to do the red carpet, a bunch of interviews. We got to see a bunch of really cool people like Taylor Swift and LL Cool J, Lenny Kravitz. I mean, TLC. It was just so much fun to be in that environment. Jax is a little bit different than me when it comes to concerts. I love concerts. I love music and everything. And Jax, you've never really been like a concert person.
You know what?
I try to get you to go.
I love music. You and I have a big age gap between us.
He's 10 years my senior.
10 years. So, I mean, I like Fleetwood Mac, Journey, Chicago, Hall & Oates. You don't even know who any of those people are.
I've heard of them, but...
And let me back up here a second. What I loved most about the iHeart Music Awards is the fact that Brittany and I finally got to go out on a date. That was my biggest get out of all this. When we get to go to an event, it's kind of like a mom and dad night out. Of course, the event, I'm very honored to be invited and go, but like I look at it as like, okay, yes, it's work, but gosh, we get to go out without the baby.
Yes.
I love my kid more than anything, but sometimes we need a little bit of a break. So
yeah, I mean, we barely ever use a babysitter. We finally have a babysitter that we love and trust here because we don't have family here. So
shout out to Sully.
Yeah, so us having a night to get to go out is very rare together.
Yeah, very rare.
We switch off a lot, so that was like really good. And I love getting like glammed up and just feeling hot again because after being a mom, you kind of put yourself on, a second place a lot of the time. So like I wasn't getting dressed up and like all that as much as I used to back in like the glory days.
we were coming out of a pandemic where the world is finally coming back.
Yeah.
We spent almost 3 years in our house, not doing anything. So just going anywhere nowadays is just amazing, and we're just so grateful for it. So it was nice. It was nice to go. It was nice to get out of the house. Now getting back to the iHeart Awards. Yeah, Brittany loves music a little bit more than I do. As far as like going to concerts and things, I'm just happy listening it to in the car. Going to concerts gives me a little bit of anxiety being with that many people. But these award shows. This is now my third one, and they're not as glamorous as everybody thinks they are. You watch it on TV. It's a little different being there. First of all, there's no alcohol. Okay,
there is alcohol.
Okay, well, let me rephrase that. So this is at a theater. Okay, so there's a it's a big theater. So you have to literally go outside the theater to get the alcohol. The bar was probably open for 10 minutes. We were not around for the 10 minutes that was really open. It was just and you're sitting down in this concert the whole time. No alcohol. I'm going to say no alcohol because we didn't really get any alcohol. So no alcohol. You're sitting down the whole time. It's almost like church.
Stand up, sit down.
Stand up, sit down. Stand up, sit down. No alcohol for 3 hours listening to music of artists that, for me, I've really never heard of except for LL Cool J, Taylor Swift, and Pink. Those were the three that I knew. Other than that, I couldn't tell you who any of those people were.
I thought it was so awesome. We're so different about that stuff.
We are very different.
I'm still like shocked whenever I see somebody like famous walk into the room. Like Taylor Swift. It was like, oh my God.
and like I said, I've been to a few of these awards before, and what I really took out of this is like I'm looking at it as, okay, Taylor Swift is probably the biggest artist, if not, I'm sorry, one of the biggest, if not the biggest artist, right? And she still goes to these awards.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
And what I saw as we watched the whole thing, we were there, not a lot of people showed up to this. And I was just kind of shocked because...
You mean people accepting awards?
People accepting awards. Yeah. This is your craft. This is what you do. This is why you are who you are. This is why you are famous, because the people make you famous. We spend the money to buy your CDs, go to your concerts, whatever. What do you call it?
Your age is showing for sure.
Sorry. Okay, what do you call it? You downloads, right? Okay, I'm sorry. Again, sorry, I'm showing my age a little bit. But the people spend their money. They buy the outfits. They buy the tickets. They pay for parking, whatever it is they do. And I mean, at least you can do is show up to an award and like...
You got to remember, these guys are also super busy. So
I understand.
But that's why I appreciate Taylor Swift so much. She's in the middle of like touring right now too. And she like showed up and like did an amazing speech. So it just means a lot to a lot of people, you know?
That's my point. If Taylor Swift, the biggest artist in the world, who's in the middle of a tour right now, can show up to the iHeart Awards, why can't Harry Styles? Why can't Coldplay?
He might.
Like, I don't understand.
Know. Maybe they were
I know, but like
touring somewhere too. I don't know.
But what I think is too is like they know when these award shows are every year. It's like Christmas. It's the same time every year, right? So when you plan a tour, you got to be like, listen, if I was an artist, I would be like, listen, we got to set aside, I need to be free X, Y, and Z dates because I need to be there to see my fans and to say thank you because you wouldn't be anywhere without the fans. So I'm not trying to keep digressing into this. I was just like a little bit like, gosh, I can't believe some of these people don't show up. I mean, this is why you are who you are, because of the fans. So I was a little like, okay, by that, but I was really hoping for a Bring It Back concert, like from somebody like an Icon Award. That's what I was waiting for because I knew going in I wasn't going to know anybody, but I was hoping for like an Icon Award. When I mean Icon Award, I mean somebody that I knew, like Pat Benatar, or like coming out and doing like an Icon Award. I was looking for a performance. I think it was Pink who was the icon, right, of the thing.
Yeah, her performance was awesome.
It was absolutely amazing. But
she does like all the like Cirque du Soleil type stuff, and I love that with like the trampolines and everything. That was so
very cool. And Lenny Kravitz was pretty cool to see him too.
That was super, super cool.
Pretty cool. But it was pretty quick. You know, I think we only saw like 3 or 4 awards given. It was really fast. But
we saw some of our friends, some of our Bravo friends. We got to see Carl and Lindsay from Summer House, and we haven't seen them in a long time. We used to hang out with them all the time in like New York and stuff whenever we would go to do like Watch Happens Live or different things with like our Bravo family. And then we saw like Hannah and Dylan from The Bachelor. So we got to like, whenever we did get drinks, we got to go take shots with them at the bar and everything. And that was good. It was good to see all them.
I know. I literally ran out there to get my $15 vodka and Coke and slammed it real quick. And that was it for that. And then we were supposed to go out to dinner with them, but then we called and said, you know what? I think we're going to call it an early night and went home. But we did get street dogs on the street. I don't know. What do you call it? Street meat? That's what they used to call it, street meat.
Oh,
and we it was fun. Walked down Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes, I love that.
You know, made the best of it.
I love doing all the touristy things. Like I still feel like I'm a Kentucky girl, you know. I'm not like all California. So like being at these events and doing these things is just like incredible to me.
Yeah, and it's like I said, we're dusting off the cobwebs a little bit. We used to do this all the time. So after 3 years of taking a break from it, it was fun getting back out there.
It was so much fun.
So all in all, it was good, right? We had a good time. We got to see some people. Ran into some people we haven't seen in a long time.
And then when we got home, we put Cruz to bed, and then we decided to just have like a mom and dad fun night, and we went back and watched some old Vanderpump Rules episodes.
Yeah, we didn't want to. We wanted to keep the party going. We just didn't want to keep the party going out. So we decided to bring it home.
Yes.
Like she said, we put the baby to bed. We said, hey, what do you think of maybe having a couple shots of tequila and watching our old wedding episodes?
Yeah, we watched our wedding. I think we watched our bachelorette party in Miami, and then we watched our wedding. And I mean, we were just cracking up. And I was also emotional seeing the wedding again. You know, we of course have seen a lot of the episodes when we were on and stuff, but there's also many that we have not seen.
Especially me. I don't watch the show at all. Yeah. So some of that stuff is like the first time I'm ever watching it.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just like brought back a lot of memories, and like a lot of times like with like Katie and Stassi, for instance, like how like they were riding so hard for me, and it just like made me feel so bad, you know. But it made me miss everybody, and really just, I don't know, it just brought back a lot of good memories. And it's crazy to go back and be able to watch all that stuff too. Not everybody in the world, actually very few people in the world, you know, live through something like this and get to go back and watch. Like, also we have bad memories, but the good memories are just like incredible to see again.
Unfortunately, it's on the internet. It's never going to go away. So You got to live with the good, with the bad, and I'm going to have to explain this to my son one day.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, but all in all, I think we stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. We stayed up till like 3 o'clock watching old episodes, and it was just fun. It was a mom and dad night out, played a little cards, and just enjoyed our night. It was all in all a good evening.
We love playing cards. We love playing like skip bow and stuff. I swear we are like just like we've been married for like 50 years. I say it all the time.
What's up, everyone? I'm Scheanna Shea. You may know me from 9 seasons of Bravo's Vanderpump Rules, but I'm here to tell you about my podcast called Shenanigans. We talk about everything from reality TV, pop culture, relationships, parenting, and invite you to join the conversations with Q&A sessions where nothing is off the table. There's so much more I want to share with you. Thanks for listening, and make sure to subscribe to Shenanigans to stay up to date with new episodes every Friday.
Are you feeling stuck in your career or lacking employment at the moment? Experiencing symptoms of job dissatisfaction? You might be suffering from a common condition known as career stagnation. But don't worry, there's a solution. Monster.com. Monster.com offers a comprehensive suite of career-boosting tools designed just for you. Our free resume review and AI interview prep tool will help you stand out from the crowd. Need more guidance? Dive into our career advice articles for expert tips and insights. And don't forget to check out our salary tools to ensure you're getting paid what you're worth. Side effects may include a new job, increased confidence, and a brighter future. Consult Monster.com today and take the first step towards your new career. Ready for your next job opportunity? Visit Monster.com now.
10 years ago, before all of this started for you, Jax, because you started as a original cast member on Vanderpump Rules, and that's kind of how everything took off for you. Did you think that you would be where you are today? Like how big the show got and like how crazy everything went?
No. I was just trying to figure out how I was going to pay my rent.
What were you doing whenever the show actually started from the very beginning? How did it actually get going for you guys? Because
I was on my way.
I came in on season 4, so it was already established by then. So.
Well, I was literally on my way out. I made some promises to my parents. I was like, listen, I've been living in California for, I can't remember exactly how many years prior to this I was living there, but I was living in California for many, many years. My dad was kind of like, all right, are you done having fun out there yet? Are you ready to come home and get a real job and let me see actual pay stubs? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. And
because for people who don't know, Jax was a model.
I was modeling, but I was hitting the age where I was like 29, 30 years old. I'm like, I got to get my crap together. Like, this is living out in California is just not doing it. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I was very lost. And then, I got the job at SUR just to kind of, have some money coming in, and it was good money, and all my friends worked there. So it wasn't like a real job to me. It was just a lot of fun. And then, when we were approached by Lisa to say, hey, we're thinking about doing a show here with all you guys because you guys are just a train wreck and it would be good TV. And I was like, well, I kind of made some promises. I'm actually going to be leaving to move back to Florida. I actually had plans. I packed up my truck. I was ready to go. And then Lisa said, hey, listen, would you mind shooting a pilot? For those of you who don't know what a pilot is, it's just kind of like a teaser, like a sizzle reel that we can pitch to the networks to see if this is even possible. Well, I didn't think about much of it. I've been promised many things in this industry, and most of it fizzles out. And that goes with anything in this industry. It's a very tough industry, the entertainment. So 99% of the things that are out there don't get picked up. So, but it was in God's good graces that this did get picked up, and they said, hey, the show's going to happen. What do you think? And I'm like, well, I guess I got to stay here now. Then I had to make the phone call to my mom and dad and be like, I'm not coming home yet. I actually did get a TV show, and the rest is history, and I'm still here. So, yeah, it was an amazing run in the beginning. Gosh, it was fast. We were shooting 26 episodes, and it was just crazy. I was disposable income. I was just all over the place. I was just having fun. But yeah, to answer your question, I didn't think I would be here where I'm at now, trying to find a babysitter to go to an award show. It's just happened. It happened so fast, and the 10 years went by so fast. I took a lot of it for granted, I got to say. And if we do go back into this industry, I'm going to change my ways for sure. Yeah, I'm going to be a lot more grateful for my opportunities. I'm going to humble myself. I just think yeah, I was just a little bit too greedy, I think, just with everything when I was on the show. I wasn't as nice as I should have been, I think. Yeah.
I think I agree.
Yeah. Well, you came in halfway. You missed a lot of the craziness.
I know. A lot of people, whenever I was asking the questions, were saying, you need to go back and do like a rewatch episode where you watch like some of the first seasons, like before I was on. So we'll have to do that because I think that would be just crazy. I'm just kind of nervous about that.
For those of you who don't know, she has never watched the show prior to being on it. So I just wanted her to watch just the very first episode.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, my gosh. It's hard to watch. It really, really is.
I think that would be absolutely crazy. And now we have, this beautiful baby. His birthday party is coming up. I'm so excited.
So that is the topic right now.
Next weekend is going to be Cruz's birthday party. And let me tell you guys, we have so many people coming to stay with us. I am so excited about it, but I just know Jax is going to be
I'm going to lose it. You're going to, on the next podcast, I don't know if it's going to be the next one or the one after that. Yeah. I may or may not be here. I may be in a facility because I'm probably going to lose my mind.
No, it's going to be absolutely amazing. One of my very best friends and her husband from back home and their 4 kids are coming to stay with us at our house for a couple nights. And then the very next day, my mom and my mamaw and Jax's sister Jenny all come in and are staying with us too for the party. And then we're going to have the big party on Saturday. So it's going to be just like so many people in the house, and Jax gets
severe anxiety around lots of people.
Oh, but also you're just so impatient. Like you're just,
that's
I don't even know how to explain it.
That's one of the things that I was not born with is patience.
No.
And I have a very short fuse, which I'm working on. But yeah, I don't have a lot of patience. And like I said, Brittany's been planning this birthday, no joke, since his last, like the day after his first birthday, she's planned this party. She's already planning the third birthday, and we're not even having the second birthday yet, if that makes any sense. So
I knew that his theme was going to be To Infinity and Beyond last year. So
for those who don't know, To Infinity and Beyond is from the movie Toy Story.
Toy Story, yes. It's going to be so cute. He's going to be dressed as little Buzz Lightyear. I am so excited. It's going to be amazing.
I mean, the amount of things that are coming to the house for this birthday party. I mean, like pizza boxes, like there's just the little decals you put on soda, like water and sodas and things like that. It's just like the stuff they have now for kids' birthday parties. And let's be honest, he's not going to remember this, but we are. Yeah. That's all that matters. Exactly. We're going to remember this. So,
but like right now, we already started with like 2 huge parties. Like he's going to expect this for the rest of his life. It's like, oh no. But I have so much fun doing it. I love like holidays and birthdays. And I
just don't want to know how much this is costing.
Well, that's why I do all the planning and all this stuff.
I don't really want to know.
Like our wedding. Did you even know anything that was going to happen at the wedding?
Well, it worked out for our wedding, to jump back into the wedding. So we bought our house and had our wedding at the same time. So we made a deal between each other. I would take care of the house situation and she'll take care of the wedding because we wanted to be able to move in. It worked out seamlessly. It was really perfect. We wanted to move into our house right after we got married. I didn't want to go back into our apartment, then go deal with that, and then move into a house. It worked out great. And like I said, for most guys, the many guys that I know, our wives or our future wives are going to ask our opinion, but we're not going to get what we want anyway. So it's like, you know what? Just do whatever you want. 9 times out of 10, I like everything that she chooses anyway. So it's nothing that was like too crazy. I was in charge of the groomsmen, like most guys are, the suits, the shoes, and making sure they all show up on time. That's
but it still was the color I picked out. And
yeah. But I'm saying like guys aren't really, it's more you do it, like the wives.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just kind of say, do you like this? Of course, and I agree. And
same for the birthday party. He'll be like, maybe we should maybe I should watch Toy Story and see if I get any ideas. I'm like, I already have it handled. Like, you don't need to do it. You don't need to be watching anything. I don't even need that.
I'm like, you don't even need me for any of this stuff. I feel like you just asked my opinion just to be nice so you say you did it.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, that's how it goes.
To get back to it, I took care of the house. This was our first home, both of our first homes. So it was actually a very smooth transaction considering I was in my late 30s buying my first home, and it was a very smooth transaction, but it went well. We had a great real estate agent, and I took care of that. Brittany took care of the wedding, and like I said, it went off without a hitch.
Yeah, I mean, it was
a crazy time though. Imagine buying a house. A
lot of fun though.
But imagine buying your first home and having a destination wedding in the middle of America. So it was a lot. There was a lot going on at that time, and we were filming a TV show. So there was just a lot going on. But it could have went a lot worse, but it actually went really easily. Everything went pretty easy.
Yeah. So the weather in LA, as everybody knows, has been really crazy lately. It's been raining like nonstop, which we need the rain, so that's good.
If I hear the word drought in California for the next year, I'm going to be livid because as you guys know, I'm a big, I don't know if you know, I'm in my yard work, my grass, and they police how much we water here. They really police it hard. They watch your water meters. So I'm like, if I have to hear the word drought again, I'm going to be livid.
Well, that's why we needed. I know. The rain.
But we've had the rain now for what, 2 months?
Yeah.
It's been 2 months it's been raining.
And here I am already praying it doesn't rain on Saturday for Cruz's birthday party.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I guess we should probably bring up a little bit more of the scandal. This will probably be one of the last times we talk about this because I'm over it. I don't know if you guys are, but this morning we just found out that Scheanna had to get up at like 7 in the morning. Mind you, she's a mother, and go deal with this restraining order nonsense. She had to go to a court. And I don't know about you, but I think this is just a big waste of everybody's time. Not only Scheanna's time, she's a mother, her mother's time, a babysitter, her husband, the court, the judge, everybody that's involved. This is just a big waste of people's time when they could be using this for people that actually need restraining orders. Yes,
like us, we had a stalker, and this was very, very scary. I will tell the story about this. Whenever I was pregnant, we were unloading groceries. So our front door was unlocked because we were going back and forth between the car and the house. And at the time we had a gate, but we didn't have a code lock on our gate just yet. So we're standing in there going through the groceries, and I had my phone in one of the grocery bags to help carry the stuff in. And all of a sudden I turn around and this woman is standing in our living room, just completely standing all the way inside of our living room with this big smile on our face like she was supposed to be there. I mean, it was absolutely terrifying. We already knew that we had somebody showing up at our house, bringing presents and random things and notes and pictures of children saying they were our son's brother, and all kinds of crazy stuff at our house. So it was just one of the most terrifying moments. The police had to come get her, but we still had so much trouble trying to get a restraining order. And this was actually a terrifying moment for us.
Terrifying moment.
So I don't even know how all this happened so easy.
Scheanna got a restraining, or Raquel got a restraining order in 2 minutes?
Yeah, and I'm
over Scheanna, who's 5'0", weighs 100 and nothing.
It has the biggest heart in the world. I can't even imagine any of this being worth anything. But it's just insane how this was even happened. And then they had to have separate trailers for the reunion. They couldn't even be around each other filming because of all this drama. Production had to be so pissed off.
They were so pissed off. I think they got to be so pissed off for many reasons. And let's not meant to mention, I was watching social media and my buddy Spencer went in on Raquel.
Spencer Pratt.
The fact that Raquel literally hours before the reunion decided to sit down in front of a nail salon and just dish on everything that they're supposed to talk about in the reunion. Now,
also, it looked super set up.
It looked super set
because
up.
Because I go to that nail salon and I was like, oh no, it's my nail salon whenever I saw that. But I go to that nail salon a lot too. And I've never sat outside for anything. So it just seemed so set up to me. And production had to be so pissed about that too.
I want to know, and she keeps claiming that she has this team. What team would allow you to do that? Not only to just sit in front of a random nail salon, you're doing this for free. And not only that, you signed a contract. Now, I've been in TV for a long time. I know how production works. To go in front of a camera and just spew everything literally hours before the reunion, they must have been fuming. How are you not pressed charges against her, lawsuits? Because the amount of, obviously, press this is getting and everyone's leading up to the reunion, this is a big deal. There's a lot of money going into this. So for her just to spew all this information, why would you watch the reunion now?
For free to TMZ, too. It's what is going on?
Out of all publications to go to, nothing against TMZ. We love you, TMZ. But out of all publications to go to, why TMZ? Why?
I just don't know how this all happened. But could you imagine if it was you who did this years ago?
I would be castrated.
You would be in so much trouble.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know this.
So much trouble.
If they ask you not to talk about it, you can get sued for a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And like you're basically giving away storylines from a show that has so much. I mean, imagine.
The buzz is huge about it right now.
Everybody's getting ready for this reunion, right? Yep. Everybody's so pumped about it and this and that. And then someone spoils it. Just think of how many people you're going to piss off.
Yes.
So I don't know the details of how much trouble she's going to get in for this, but there has to be some ramifications.
Because I just know if it would have been you, it would have been just the world was over.
I would have been banned from anything on television ever again.
A lot of people have been asking, because I've been asking questions on Instagram. A lot of people have been asking for more detail of what it was like after you hung out with everybody after the reunion was filmed. Because I stayed with the baby that night and you went out. So is there any funny details or anything about whenever you guys were all out together?
Now that was unplanned. I went out with my friend Jason, and if all you don't know, that's Janet's husband. And I also went out with my friend Max, who was the manager at Tom Tom at one time. If you guys don't know who he is, anyway,
he was on the show for a while.
He was on the show for a hot minute. Anyway, we all went out for drinks, all three of us, and then about 2 hours into it, we hear all this screaming and yelling. We were at Laurel Tavern. We were just like I said, having a few drinks, and all of a sudden we hear a group of people just come in, barge in, right? And I'm standing in the middle. I'm grabbing a drink for the guys, and I'm standing in the middle, and the first person that walks in is Ariana, and she looks at me, she opens up her arms, and when she comes to me, and she gives me a big 30-second long hug, and I'm just saying, hey, listen, I love you so much. I know you're going through hell and everything. Let me buy you a drink.
Hold on. I just love that you and Ariana are actually might become friends over all this.
You know what?
It'll make my life so much easier.
I know. I don't make my wife's life easy when I get into my disputes because it's usually with her friends. But anyway, getting back into that, everybody came in screaming and yelling. It just so happens that it was on the TV. It was on Entertainment Tonight, and our actually you and I were on there, Brittany, and then Ariana was on there. People were yelling and screaming. Everybody's just coming off of the reunion, so tensions are high. They're coming down off of a huge high. The adrenaline must have been crazy. But yeah, we all had drinks. We all had fun. Like I said, it was nice to see Ariana. I haven't seen her in a minute. We've just been talking over the phone, and it was nice just to give her a hug and saying, you look great, and I'm happy for her. I really, really am. So it went really well. We had a few drinks and then I went home, but it was nice to see everybody. I saw Scheanna and Brock and everybody, and yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was nice to see everybody, and everybody was in good spirits.
Good.
So that was good.
That's good. That means that she feels good leaving the podcast, the reunion. Maybe she was able to get some of that.
She said
anger
it was brutal
out that night.
I did ask her. I go, how was it? She's like, it was brutal. It was everything you thought of and more. And then I talked to Tom Schwartz. I go, how was it? He's like, it was the worst thing I've ever been a part of. I go, how did it go for you? He's like, well, it was bad for me, but it wasn't. I've never seen or heard anything like what has happened. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, not to get off the subject, but after the reunion, everybody was kind of at Laurel Tavern except for Raquel and Tom. And I found out that Raquel and Tom decided to go to Musso and Frank's right after. Now, Musso and Frank's is an old Hollywood restaurant located on Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard. I can't remember, but it's actually really good. They have really good food there. I should take you there. But anyway, the point of my story is Ariana and Tom have been dating for 9, 10, whatever years, right? That is their anniversary spot. That's where they go for their anniversary every year. Out of all the restaurants in Hollywood, Tom decided to say, hey, Raquel, let's go to Musso and Frank's.
Oh, Lord.
What? I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for some empathy. I'm still waiting for and I'm sorry, but you just keep digging the hole. Now you're taking Raquel after the reunion to the place where you used to take your girlfriend of 10 years for their anniversary. What is wrong with you?
Goodness gracious. Awful.
It's getting bad to worse.
Did Ariana know that? That night? Did they know that night? Or we found this out later? We found this out later.
And I found this out later. And I was just in shock because like I said, I'm waiting for because it keeps it's worse and worse and worse, all the stuff I hear. And then it just I'm waiting for the empathy. I'm waiting for Tom to be like, I effed up.
Well, hopefully he takes a responsibility at the reunion at least because, geez.
I don't think he did. From what I heard, what they told me, he was going in on her and be like, well, this and kind of deflecting. He didn't just tuck his tail between his legs and say, hey, you know what? I screwed up. I made a bad decision. I'm sorry, and walk away. But instead, you deflected and went after everybody. That's what I was told. But anyway, again, enough about this. I just wanted to kind of get that, clear the air of that, because I just recently was told all this stuff. So yeah,
golly.
Could you imagine? So, Brittany, could you imagine imagine you and I love, okay, as you know, Brittany and I love Hooters more than anything. Could you imagine if our relationship ended and then the day after I took the new girl to Hooters?
Oh, I would whoop your tail.
Right?
That would not be good for you.
That's just like, I just cannot get over his decision making.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you think about how like sometimes girlfriends or wives or husbands, they put like tracking devices on your phones and like iPads, like following each other's locations and stuff like that? Do you think that is too far, or do you think that is okay?
Now, I have a dad group chat. I have about 15 dads in my group chat. We all have kids. We all have kids relatively the same age because we all got knocked up at the same time. So we all kind of bounce things off each other all the time. And I asked them, my buddies this. I'm like, hey, guys, do your wives have, Find My iPhone or the tracking devices or whatever the app is that you use for your phone? And all my dads, I would say 90% of them said, yeah, my wife has mine. And you have mine, and I don't think anything of it. I think it's a smart thing to have. I've never put myself in a situation where I'm like, oh, I don't want my wife to know where I'm at. Like everything I do. You have all my passwords to my phone anyway. Even without having a tracking device, you can get into everything. You actually do most of my stuff for me. But I think it's a good thing to have. I honestly think especially with the way the world is today, I want you to know where I'm at all times. I'm never going to be in a spot where you're going to be like, where is he? Like, that's just not me. I don't do that. So as far as having the tracking device in there, I think it's a smart move. I think we're parents, we're a family. Everybody's going to have their own difference of opinion on this, but I think it's a smart move. I like the fact that you know where I'm at all times. I do. There's been a few times, where you asked me like, hey, you're not there yet or whatever. And I was kind of like, are you literally looking at my phone and tracking me? But for the most part, you're like, I need you to go get groceries or pick up the dry clean, do this, and I'll do this. And you're like, you're still not there yet? But that it doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me at all. But I think it's okay. But I know there's some dads out there that are like, I don't want my wife to know where I'm at. Like, but why? I don't understand. Why wouldn't you want your wife to know where you are? I mean, you are.
They're the ones doing the crappy stuff, probably.
I think after you get married and have a family, you should have a tracking device. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
On that.
I'm going to know where you are 24/7 anyway. That is never going to change.
A tracking device is not going to stop you. That's for sure.
I will figure out a way.
Yeah.
I will figure out a way to figure out what is going on.
Real quick, we're going to answer a couple questions from Instagram. We're going to kind of do this every time because there's always a lot of questions that people want to know, and I want to get as many answers out as I can.
Yes.
So here we go. I get asked a lot, what is the hardest thing about parenting? And for us right now, it's not having any family here. We both are from the Midwest. Getting here is not easy. Sometimes it takes more than one plane to get here. But yeah, I think the hardest part about parenting for us as right now, we're just entering the terrible twos. So this might change later. But right now, it's not having any family. A lot of our friends have family here or close by. And I would have to say that's probably the hardest thing right now. Do you agree?
Yeah, because Cruz is a little angel baby. We've got so lucky with him. He is so well behaved, and he's just a little angel, and I just love him like more than anything in the life. So I think the best thing about parenting is just how much you love him. Like I never even could have imagined.
He came up to me yesterday.
It's insane. It's insane, the love.
I mean, the last night, right? He came up to me. He literally was playing with his blocks. He came up to me, grabbed the back of my head, gave me a kiss, looked at me, and then went back to playing. Like
it was so
I was like,
sweet.
This is an actual human. Like he's got like emotions and feelings. Like I teared up. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What's the next one?
He's just the sweetest thing ever. This is from @PDiamondReeves, and the question is, have you guys ever done counseling or couples counseling together? This one's funny because Jax hates this stuff so bad, and I feel like every time that we have done couples counseling together, but it was on camera, so it's never really been like just us and a therapist. But then Jax had this like weird
I've had more than one. Again, I went on counseling before you were on the show twice by two different therapists, and they both screwed me over. So, I've been burned a total of 3 times with counseling. Not burned. The last one wasn't burned. The Reiki thing. That was
everybody just thought it was so weird.
It was weird, but they were looking. Listen, the show was like, listen, he went to 2 therapists. They screwed him over. Let's find another healer. And they said, oh, there's Reiki. And it just so happens one of the producers on the show, her friend was a Reiki healer. They said, hey, Jax, would you be interested in doing this? I'm like, you know what? 3rd time's a charm. Sure, let's try it. With the therapy.
Everybody tried to make that into such a big thing, like that you were liked her or something.
Oh, no, my God. I was like
people trying to make it like almost like a sexual thing. I was like, and
she was married.
People kept asking me all the time, like, how I felt about it. And I was like, I mean, it seemed kind of weird to me, but I didn't think that anything else was going on.
Like I said, I was just looking for help at that time. Like I said, after going to 2 different therapists and them kind of...
Didn't the first one like tell things that you said or something crazy that's like so against the law?
It just goes to show you how small the world is. I'll make this really quick. I went to therapy, I want to say on season 3 or 4, just to kind of, I needed to go to therapy. I kind of just needed to go. So I went to therapy. After about my 3rd session, I ended up going to Australia. Got a phone call the next morning from Kristen Doty, right? She says, I ran into your therapist at a bar. She was randomly talking about somebody that she was counseling. She mentioned your name and was talking about your problems. Now, imagine that. At a bar in Hollywood, Kristen Doty ends up sitting next to my therapist. And she's spewing information about my life. Meanwhile, I'm in Australia getting all this information. I'm like, I feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like violated.
Yeah, of course.
She's spewing all my personal information. She's like, I'm counseling Jax Taylor from Vanderpump Rules, and this is all his problems, and this is all this. I'm like, I'm no therapist, but I know day 1 in school, therapy 101, you don't talk about other people's problems. That's how you lose your license.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I know counseling and therapy, it can be good for so many people, and I'm sure if we did it outside of cameras and anything, it could be good for us. I mean, we still have our problems all the time. So.
Oh, we have problems just like everybody else. And
marriage is not easy, let me tell you.
It isn't easy, but you know what? That's marriage. You work at it. It's work. You don't just throw in the towel when something goes bad. You figure out what's wrong, you fix it, and you move on until the next problem comes. But I think also bickering and arguing kind of makes you stronger. You can't just agree with everybody. And if you just agreed with everything I said, this would be boring marriage.
Oh, yeah. I like a bad boy and I like a challenge. Like, hey. I like to be able to take care of somebody too. So,
and clearly it's working for us.
Yeah.
So next question.
This one is from @HalseyBop. And was Jax moving to Florida for the hockey job a real possibility, or was it played up for the show? So for those of you who don't know, on the show, whenever me and Jax were going through our 2-month breakup or however long we broke up for, Jax was talking about moving to Tampa and helping with a hockey team. So I guess they want to know more about that because that was such a random
It was. And for those of you who don't know, hockey is my favorite thing in the world next to my family. It's my favorite sport. I live, eat, and breathe the sport. I watch it every day. I'm obsessed with hockey. I'm obsessed with all the teams. I love the sport. My parents live in Tampa. I went to a lot of Tampa hockey games. I got to meet a lot of the people that are in the back office of the game. We go to all the games. There was a point in time where I was like, man, I kind of want to just hang this up and maybe possibly work for a hockey team. And it just so happens that I met a gentleman that worked for the Tampa Bay Lightning and kind of pitched him the idea and said, hey, listen, if I decided to hang everything up tomorrow and knowing everything that I know about hockey, what do you think about maybe me coming here and maybe doing some kind of social media / marketing thing? And at the time, social media for teams was fairly new when I started doing this.
I tried not to laugh, but it's just so funny thinking about you doing something like that.
I would love to do that. If I wasn't if I wasn't doing this, hockey. I'd be a firefighter. I think, or I would do this.
Oh my gosh, the fact you could never be a firefighter.
I could so be a firefighter.
No, you couldn't. Okay, we had. Sorry, I've got to talk about this for a second. We had a earthquake, okay? And Jax just is freaking out, almost screaming, making the craziest sounds and stuff. He is terrible in a crisis situation. I don't think that you would ever be able to be a fireman. I feel like if somebody came in and was attacking the house or something, I would probably be the one fighting them off first.
I was screaming. That was an earthquake, though. I was freaking out. I'd never been in an earthquake
I know,
before.
but Kingsley, our dog, was sitting basically on his lap, and I grabbed our other dog, Sissy, and he grabs, and I'm like, grab Kingsley, and he's just running around with his hands flaring, it was just cracking me up. I mean, it was a scary situation, but no, you could not be a firefighter.
I know. So to answer your story about the hockey, just to get back into that, it was a possibility. It wasn't for sure. We were just in the talks about doing something like that because, again, at that time, social media for teams and stuff like that was fairly new, and marketing was fairly new, and you can't really teach what I know about the sport. So,
let's be real. You also thought that I wasn't going to come back because I was ignoring you. I was not answering any of your phone calls.
Yeah, I called 120 times.
On the show, it looked like you tried to break up with me because it was going to be better for me. You were trying to do that whole angle, and I was so annoyed with you because then as soon as I leave, I go to a hotel, and guess who starts calling me right away?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. I just think you were trying to figure out anything to do just in case that we didn't work out, which I'm glad we did because now we got the best baby in the world.
Okay, next question from @Crade Howard. @Crade Howard. Do you think you will move out of LA at some point?
I think for sure down the road we'll move out of LA, especially because we want more kids. And like you said, like it's hard to not have any family around. And I just want my kids to grow up around their cousins and their, like how I did. So I definitely think eventually we'll move back. Right now we got a lot of amazing things and opportunities happening here in LA. And like this is the best place to be for what we do. But down the road, we definitely would like to move, probably to Kentucky or Florida. We love both of those places.
Kentucky and Florida. We're so torn between both. I love Florida. Florida's my favorite.
We're going to be that old couple who retires to Florida.
I know, but I don't want to retire to Florida. I don't want to be old and then go to Florida. I want to have fun and still be young enough to really enjoy Florida still,
like open like a beach bar.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I love Florida more than any place in ever. It's my favorite place. I just love it. I love everything about it. But if I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, actually, the only reason, let me rephrase that. The only reason I am still here, the only reason we are still here is because of the industry we are in. That is the only reason. If we were not doing this, we would be out of here tomorrow. So,
Jax is ready to be. I still love living in LA. He's been here so much longer than me. And
I'm just over it.
I just think there's so much fun stuff to do. But I definitely miss my family.
And it's so expensive.
And my friends back home. My friends back home are everything to me.
You have to make a lot of money to enjoy yourself here. It's just so hard. Everything is so expensive.
Everything is expensive. Definitely different than Kentucky.
Yeah, and it's just like, I want to be able to retire one day. I want to enjoy my life without every week you feel like you're just breaking the bank. And it's just one thing everywhere. But so yes, to answer your question, yes, at some point we are. So I think we have time for one more question. And I think this is a good one. And Brittany, I'll ask this to you. This is from Ronnie2345. What is your status with Lisa Vanderpump?
Oh, well, I've always adored Lisa. I think that was very clear. But honestly, she hasn't been around us very much recently. Ever since we haven't been on the show and everything, she sent us a gift after Cruz was born, and I checked in on her whenever she got kicked by the horse, or she got hurt with riding her horse.
She also sent us the gift the day after we said we haven't talked to her in a long time.
But I just always assumed she has always kind of acted like she was your LA mom. So I just figured she would be around a lot more. And I know there was COVID and everybody was busy. So I feel like that has a big part to do with it. And of course we weren't filming anymore. But we definitely missed her because she definitely was a huge part of our lives, in my life for 5 years, yours for 10, even longer than that. Cause you knew her even before this show started and stuff. But Jax, you saw her not that long ago at Tom Tom, and you said that she was really nice.
Yeah,
but anytime I see her, she's always so sweet. And whenever I texted her checking in, she's like, "I miss you guys," and we miss her too. It's just weird that we don't see her as much anymore.
Which makes me kind of I had some serious heart-to-heart, vulnerable moments with Lisa during the years of being on the show where she's actually broke down to me and saying, she actually asked me how I dealt with people coming at me. How do you have such thick skin? Because there was moments on Housewives where all the women were coming after her and she was breaking down. We literally would sit and sir for hours just going back and forth how to deal things. So there was a vulnerable time there where, she was like my mother. And that's the part where, because we haven't spoken to her up until a couple weeks ago in a long time, that kind of bothered me because I thought we had a little bit of a closer bond there because, like I said, we bonded over the fact that people were coming after us. We both were kind of the villains for a while on our shows.
She's been there through a lot of things. She came to our wedding after her mother had just passed away. That meant so much to us. I think she definitely means a lot to us, but we definitely miss her. I miss her.
I feel better about the fact that I ran into her 2 weeks ago. I literally ran into Tom Tom on the spur of the moment, and she just so happened to be there. And I sat down and I actually had a conversation. It was just nice to see her. Obviously, it was right after this whole thing that's going on with Raquel and Tom right now. But it was good to see her. I think we're in a good place now. I think we have a couple projects that are in the works, and she's excited about it. So, I think things are going good.
Yeah.
I think things are okay.
I'm excited for all the stuff we got coming up. Can't wait to talk about it more as well. But it's going to be a good year for us. So I'm excited. Lots of fun stuff. Well,
the weather is bad. We got to get home to our kid. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
to When Reality Hits with Jax and Brittany. We'll have a new episode out every Tuesday. Make sure you ask us questions on my Instagram at Brittany, and we have Jax's Instagram at Mr. Jax Taylor. Follow, rate, and review. Hope you guys had fun with us today. And before we wrap up, we wanted to send our love and our prayers to all the families affected in Nashville. Such a horrible tragedy, and we are just thinking of everybody, and we are with you, and we love you guys.
I'm Lola.
And I'm Megan.
And we're the hosts of Trust Me, Cults, Extreme Belief, and Manipulation. We both have childhood cult experiences, and we're here to debunk the myths about people who join them
and show that anyone can be manipulated.
Our past interviews include survivors and former members of the Manson family,
NXIVM,
MS-13, Teal Swan,
Heaven's Gate, Children of God,
and the Branch Davidians. Join us every week as we help you spot the red flags.
Get new episodes of Trust Me every Wednesday on PodcastOne
or wherever you get your podcasts.